Welcome to Bible Prayers and Untold Stories, where every whisper verse is truth, and every story brings light to the soul. Let us journey through the sacred words and uncover the wisdom hidden in prayer. Welcome to the Bible, Prayers and Untold Stories, where every prayer resonates with eternal truth, where every story lights a lamp to illuminate the soul, guiding footsteps in the dark. Today, we will embark on a mystical journey together, where the ancient sailor's ring, a sacred symbol of power and responsibility, is passed on, a mark not only of time, but also of eternal faith, connecting the past with the present and the future. In the middle of St. Peter's Square, where spirituality blends with history, we witness a sacred moment. When the sacred ring was placed on the finger of Pope Leo XIV, it was also the moment when the sacred mission of St. Peter was continued, a promise of guidance full of light and hope. Let me listen, feel, and discover profound meanings behind each step, each oath, each sacred moment in the meeting of those who carry this great mission. For in the mysterious light of faith, all mysteries become clear, and every listening heart will find peace. On May 18th, 2025, under the vast and clear sky of Rome, St. Peter's Square became strangely quiet. Not the silence of time, but the silence of a soul praying, waiting. Thousands of eyes were focused on a single point, where a sacred ceremony unprecedented in the history of the Church would take place. The moment a new Pope Leo XIV would be given the sailor's ring, the symbol of power and the sacred mission that followed from St. Peter. The atmosphere seemed to freeze, interwoven between mystical light and sacred darkness. The ancient bells echoed, mingling with prayers and languages from all over the world, like a bridge of sound connecting the past with the present and the future. In the gentle light that seemed to be cast from the divine spirit, Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle appeared. He walked slowly and steadily through the old stone path, his eyes bright but profound, carrying an unspoken responsibility to deliver the ring to the finger of the successor of St. Peter. The sailor's ring, Annulus Piscatoris, is not simply a ring. It is the key to the millennium, a symbol attached to a sacred mission, representing the commitment to spiritual guidance of more than 1.4 billion believers around the world. The image of St. Peter, the first fisherman, is deeply imprinted on the ring, as if reminding each pope that their power is not to rule, but to serve, protect, and lead. Spiritual vibrations spread in the space, penetrating every eye, every heart. This is not just a ritual of today, but the promise of a new era, an era of hope and sacred responsibility. Every step, every glance, contain profound layers of meaning, the intersection of history and present, of man and faith, of heaven and earth. And when Cardinal Tagle raised the ring in his hand, the whole square seemed to hold its breath, waiting for that sacred moment. The ring was gently placed on the finger of Pope Leo XIV, opening a new chapter in the history of the Church. It was a moment when the great past met the glorious future, when responsibility was passed like a sacred torch, warming and illuminating every heart around the world. The journey of faith begins here. Before the sailor's ring became the seal of divine power, before the bells rang out in St. Peter's Square today, there was a man, a humble fisherman, named Peter. He was not only a fisherman on the Sea of Galilee, but also the solid foundation of the Catholic Church. In the dim light of dawn, the image of St. Peter with his calloused hands casting nets seems to contain an eternal promise. You are the rock on which I will build my church. The ring that the Pope wears today, engraved with the image of St. Peter holding a net, is a symbol of this continuity. It is like a bridge across time, connecting difficult days, trials, and steadfast faith, so that today it continues to transmit that strength to all humanity. The ring is not just an ornament. It is a powerful symbol, containing a sacred invitation. Power must be wielded in humility, led by love and service. Over the centuries, the ring has overcome wars, divisions, and spiritual darkness, upholding the mission of St. Peter, a lamp that lights the way for more than 1.4 billion souls on their journey to find the truth. And in that ring, there's also a deep connection between cultures, generations, and all social classes, blended in a single faith in God, the eternal light. The ring is a reminder to every child of the Church that true power does not lie in a throne, but in a heart that knows how to love and commitment to peace. When Pope Leo XIV placed the sailor's ring on his finger, he took on more than just an item. It was the heaviest responsibility of all, to lead a universal church amid the many challenges of our time. The journey of the ring is also the journey of faith, a mystical journey, full of profound meanings that only those who are quiet can understand. St. Peter's Square was filled with magical light as the chants of prayers echoed everywhere, reaching from the far corners of the sky to the hearts of everyone present. The installation of Pope Leo XIV was more than a ritual. It was a meeting between heaven and earth, between past and present, between man and faith. Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle, dressed in a solemn silver-white ceremonial robe, walked toward the center. Each step he took carried the weight of his mission and undying faith. He is not simply a ring giver, but also a messenger of sacred connection between generations of the Church, between souls thirsting for light. The sailor ring was raised, its light reflecting off it, as if carried within it the breath of the apostles, of the saints who had worn it over the centuries. The moment the ring gently touched the Pope's finger, space seemed to stop, a sacred moment, imbued with oaths and love for humanity. The ancient prayers resounded in the organ and the bells, creating a wave of purifying sound, lifting everyone's soul to a new level of consciousness. The investiture oath was not only a personal promise, but also a commitment to lead the Church with a humble and responsible heart. In the eyes of Pope Leo XIV and Cardinal Tagle, we saw a blend of respect, trust, and companionship, a testament to the fact that sacred power is always preserved in the resonance of love and devotion. Every ritual, every little gesture is filled with profound meaning, from the placing of rings to the passing of power, from the prayer to the consensus of the global community of believers. It is a fusion of tradition and innovation, of ancient ritual and new mission, reflecting the spirit of the Church entering a new era, an era of mercy, of service, and of human solidarity. The atmosphere was not only a witness to the ceremony, but also a spiritual opening for all those who listened, felt, and were ready to accompany on a challenging but also mysteriously light-filled path of faith. Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle was not only the one who exchanged rings in that sacred ceremony, he was also a living symbol of the harmony between tradition and innovation, between profound spirit of faith and the power of cultural empathy. From the first days of his religious journey, Tagle clearly felt the sacred calling in his heart. He constantly searched for light in the darkness, longing to become a guiding light for lost souls in a time of great change. As the former prefect of the Congregation for the Evangelization of Peoples, he spread the gospel message to all lands across cultural, linguistic, and traditional boundaries. His mission went far beyond the walls of the Vatican. It was an invitation for all to walk together on the path of holiness. Every moment he stood beside Pope Leo XIV during the ceremony was a deep connection between two souls on a common mission. It was a wordless trust, a spiritual fire transmitted through every glance, every touch of the sailor's ring. Cardinal Tagle had been considered a potential candidate in previous papal elections, but it was in this role as keeper of the flame of tradition and messenger of culture that he showed his true humility and inner strength. He is a testament to the diversity and harmony of a universal church, an image in which every believer can find himself. From Asia to Europe, from east to west, all united in a single, enduring faith. His presence at the ordination not only underscores the continuity of tradition, but also opens a new door to spiritual change and renewal, a promise that the Church will always be a place of harmony, where the voices of all peoples are respected and cherished. In Tagle's eyes, one sees an undying faith, a heart always ready to commit, and a spirit that never stops growing, like a cool stream that quenches the spiritual thirst of today's world. As the early morning sun shines on St. Peter's Square, the sailor's ring on Pope Leo XIV's finger radiates a warm light, like a torch that lights up the challenging path ahead. The ring is not only a symbol of divine power, but also an eternal promise of unity and harmony between peoples, cultures, and generations of believers around the world. In an era when the world is changing, full of turmoil and challenges, the Church stands as a lighthouse, guiding spiritual ships to find a peaceful shore. Pope Leo XIV, with a mission transmitted through the mysterious ring, is not only a leader but also a companion, a shepherd of souls close to each person, each story of everyday life. That mission requires patience, deep understanding, and a heart that knows how to love unconditionally. It is a relentless commitment, an endless journey, but also full of hope and mysterious light. The sailor's ring is like a key that opens a door to a new era, an era of reconciliation, of mercy, and of unity among humanity and faith. With that ring, Pope Leo XIV not only passed on power, but also entrusted the responsibility of preserving the faith, inspiring every soul on the journey of searching for truth and peace. And when the ceremony ended, when the crowd gradually dispersed, the light from the ring still remained in each person's heart, as a sacred reminder that, in faith, all paths lead to love and eternal life. This journey, from a small ring to a great mission, is a testament to the mysterious power of faith, a power that never fades, always passed on from generation to generation. And in that mysterious light, each of us is also invited to become the keepers of the flame, the ones who continue the sacred story of faith, love, and hope. Let faith guide us, so that the sailor ring is not just a symbol, but a lamp that illuminates our souls on our journey through life.